Alright, welcome to Daily Coding Challenges. We're going to take a JavaScript challenge question from the internet and try to solve it. Today's looks pretty fun. I'm going to go ahead and get started right now. Is valid email. Write a function that takes in an email string and determines if it is a valid email. An email is considered valid if it meets the following criteria. 1. It contains exactly one @ symbol. 2. It contains only alphanumeric characters or underscore before the @ symbol. 3. It contains exactly one dot symbol. 4. It contains only only net or com after the dot. So reading this, okay, so I think the best way to do this, so I know at least for the @ we can split the string at the @ and we'll just check the length. If the length is not equal to 2, if it's 1 or 3 or anything other than 2, then we know that there was either no @ symbol or more than one, so that should automatically disqualify that. Contains only alphanumeric characters, so I'll set up a variable for that. We'll check that one. Contains exactly one dot symbol, so I think we can do the same thing. We'll just split it at the dot, and if the length is anything other than 2, then we know that there either was not a dot or there's too many dots. 4. It contains only net or com after the dot, so I think we can just includes com or includes net. That shouldn't be too difficult. So let's go ahead and jump in. Function is valid email. We're going to take in a string. And okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set up that alpha numeric characters variable. So we'll say let alpha equal, we literally just want the alphabet. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I mean, okay, it doesn't specifically say, but I do see capital letters in here, and just so I don't have to keep using it to upcase and downcase, I'm going to go ahead and set this up with capitals. And what else? The alphanumeric, so an underscore and I guess numbers. And I believe that should do it. Okay, what else? So I guess we can go ahead and set up a variable for the @ symbol. So we'll say let parts equal string.split at the @, and we'll use this variable to check how many ats there are, because now that we split it at the @, there should be a portion before the @ and a portion after the @. So the length should be 2, and if it's not, then we know that there's not the correct amount of ats. See, it contains only alphanumeric characters before the @ symbol. So we can say, we know we need to check the portion before the @, and we have that already because we split it. So we'll say let parts1 equal parts at the 0 index, and go ahead and throw parts2 parts at the 1 index, and we can go ahead and split it at the dot. So we could say let, just gonna get fancy, we'll call it dot parts equal string dot split at the dot. Oops. And we know we need to check, I guess we didn't need this parts2. I'll just leave it for now just in case. So we'll say let dot parts1 equal dot parts at the 0. Let dot parts2 equal dot parts at the 1. And I think that is everything we'll need. If not, we'll just go back real quick, but I think that's it. So let's go ahead and start disqualifying stuff. So what I think I'm going to do is at the end I'm going to return true if the string goes through all of the criteria that I'm about to write out. We're going to return falses if it doesn't meet any of the criteria. So at the very end, if it makes it through all of it, it should return true. So let's go ahead and disqualify the first one, which is the @ symbol. So we'll say if parts.length is not equal to 2, then we want to return false. And oops. And let's see, for the next one, we want to check that it contains only alphanumeric characters before the @ So we'll want to iterate over parts1. So we'll set up a for loop, let I equal 0, while I is less than parts1 dot length, I plus plus, and we'll say if not alpha includes part1 at the I index, we want to return false, because we know that, so we have our variable alpha here, and only the characters in this variable are acceptable as far as what was given to us for number 2. So if it finds anything that's not in this variable, then we know that it's not an alphanumeric character and it's not acceptable, so we'll go ahead and return false. What's the next one? Contains exactly 1 dot, so we'll say if dot parts dot length is not equal to 2, we want to return false. And the next one contains only net or com after the dot. So what did I call that? We call that dot parts2. So if we'll say if not dot parts2 includes com, and not dot parts2 includes net, to return false. So if it includes anything other than com or net, then we want to return false. And I think that's it. So contains one @ symbol. We covered that. Contains only alphanumerics before the @ symbol, and we covered that. Contains exactly one dot symbol, so we covered that, and only net or com after the dot, so we covered that. So let's go ahead and run it and see what we get. Oh, we got an error. Line 25. 25 alpha. Okay, I called it parts 1, but I wrote part 1. Did I do that anywhere else? I don't think so. Okay, let's try to run it again. Alright, we got true, true, false, false, false. So it looks like that did it. Alright, if you have any questions, drop it down in the comments. If I can help you out, I will. If I don't get to your question, hopefully somebody else in the comments will help you out. But I will try to answer every question that I see. I guess that does it for this one, so I'll see you next time.